A lot out of Washington, specifically from President Trump from the Oval Office. Let's get to Megan Casella with the download on that. Megan.
Hey, Melissa, absolutely. So in listening to the president roll out those auto tariffs, you're right. You mentioned this just before the break, that it was a little bit less than it could have been. It appears from what the president said that auto parts were excluded. That's just the 25% tariff on finished cars. But there were also a couple points that I want to highlight that show just how far he is going. He did emphasize that these tariffs will stack on top of any existing tariff. So that means if there's already something like a 10 or a 20% tariff on the EU, for example, something that we might see next week with the April 2nd reciprocal tariffs, this 25% tariff would be on top of that. He also said he's not really interested in any negotiations to try to remove these at any point during his term. He was emphasizing it's not a negotiating tactic, but an end game, something that he believes could ultimately lower taxes, lower the debt. But he says this is permanent 100% when he was asked about it. He also talked about the reciprocal tariffs, and something I would flag there is that he said tariffs on all countries will be rolled out on April 2nd. That is a little bit of an escalation from what we've been hearing from White House officials in the past few weeks, who had said some of the worst offenders in their eyes might get tariffed on April 2nd, but we could see additional tariffs over weeks or months after that. So escalating it a little bit there. But then one final point, he also again emphasized, as we heard him say last night in the Newsmax interview, that he is going to be looking for some leniency in the reciprocal tariffs. And he also said, quote, "We're trying to keep it somewhat conservative." So a lot more to come on that front, but getting a little bit more clarity on the reciprocal tariffs at the same time we're learning about these auto tariffs. Melissa?